So hi there everyone. This is the second time I'm probably recording Ideal City because the last video which I published, let's say literally posted, turned out to be without an audio. So yes, we are recording it once again. So an ideal city, what we need to do here is basically simple. The approach is basically simple. We have two types of questions: true, false, not given, which follows the order, follows the order, which means first we need to find the first question, and the rest will follow behind. That means if I find the first answer to this question, probably somewhere around here, 500 years ago, you can see this 500 years ago, and I'm gonna try to navigate it to my in the passage itself. So for example, 500 years ago, I can see this 500 years ago. There you can see that. So that is the first thing that I need to do. So that means basically the question number 27 will come somewhere around here. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's see. People first referred to Leonardo da Vinci as a genius 500 years ago. That's the first thing. The current climate crisis is predicted to cause more deaths than plague. So current climate crisis is predicted to cause more deaths than plague. Some of the challenges we face today can be compared to those of earlier times. Challenges we face today compared to those of earlier times. Another one is Leonardo da Vinci's ideal city was constructed in the 15th century. So let's see it in the 15th century. Can we find 15th century? There we go. We have the something 15th century over here, but we also have 15th century that is indicated in years. All right. So poor town planning is a major contributor to climate change. Major contributor to climate change. All right. Let me just highlight that normally for ourselves. There we go. In Renaissance time, local people fought against the changes to Pienza and Ferrara. So it's local people fought. They fought against the changes. And lastly, Leonardo da Vinci kept a neat, organized record of his designs. All right. So Leonardo da Vinci's ideal city. So we have a Ticino River. This is what I want to see. We have a Ticino or Ticino River. That means I need to find the part. There we go. We can see this. What I need to do first, before I actually complete the reading passage, is that I just literally try to navigate through the questions or the passage, where exactly the passages will be found. I mean, the questions will be found. Do you understand? So the question number 27 follows in here. So the word genius is universally associated with the name of Leonardo da Vinci. A true Renaissance man, he embodied scientific spirit, artistic talent, and humanist sensibilities. 500 years have passed since Leonardo died in his home at Château de Clos-Luz, outside Tours, France. Yet far from fading into insignificance, his thinking has carried down the centuries and still surpasses today. However, the question is a little bit weird here. Not necessarily weird, because it doesn't say that people first referred. We don't know if people have ever referred to him as genius first, which means the answer is going to be not given. Has he ever been regarded as the genius 500 years ago? That's the question, because yet after he when he passed away, he started. Instead of fading into insignificance, he was considered universally as genius. But people referred to him as a genius or not 500 years ago. We don't know that. So question number 27 over here. So the Renaissance marked the transition from the 15th century to modernity and took place after the spread of the plague in the 14th century, which caused a global crisis resulting in some 200 million deaths across Europe and Asia. Today, the world is on the cusp of climate crisis, which is predicted to cause widespread displacement, extinctions, and death if left unaddressed. So that means another one. The climate crisis is predicted to cause more deaths than the plague. Another not given for us It does not compare. It does not say whether or not. It's over here. We can say that question number 28. Question 28. It does not necessarily say if the current climate causes more deaths than the plague. There's no comparison. When there's no comparison, you basically don't say let's say when there is no comparison, the answer is usually not given. All right, so the answer is usually not given, so you need to try to understand that. So some of the challenges we face today, all right, then versus as now, radical solutions were called for to revolutionize the way people lived and safeguard humanity against catastrophe. However, this one is going to be true for us. You can see that it is now comparing. Question number 29. There you go. So we have the answer here as true, because the earlier times, the paraphrase for this, I'm just gonna build I will build a paraphrase later on. Maybe let's just say I'm going to build a paraphrase list. Words from passage, words from questions, and similar words from passage. All right. So the first one, just because the answers were not given, I'm not necessarily going to write. So, but this one is question number 29. 29. Then as now. Whoops. So 20 and 29. Then as now. The answer is going to be here. Then as now is going to be we face today. Face today of earlier times. Face today and earlier times. Then versus now. People lived. People also lived. All right? People lived. We can see that. We can just say lived, which is in the past tense. All right? So there you go. Change it again. Let me just put it to the middle. Try to build a little bit better format. Now, next, Leonardo da Vinci ideal city was constructed in the 15th century. Yes, around 4086, after a pestilence that killed half the population in Milan, Italy, Leonardo turned his thoughts to urban planning problems. Following a typical Renaissance trend, he began to work on an ideal city project, which, due to its excessive costs, would remain unfulfilled. There we go. We found another answer for ourselves. This means question number 30. Yes, we have question number 30. It says remained unfulfilled. The answer is going to be false. It was not built, it remained unfulfilled because of the cost. So, was constructed. 30 was constructed. Here it's going to be remained unfulfilled. I'm just going to say contradict. So I'm just contradict. Because it's contradicting, that's why I want you to know that it's contradicting. That's why I write contradict, which is the answer is false. Now, poor town planning. Yet, given that unsustainable urban models are a key cause of climate change, today it's only natural to wonder how Leonardo might have changed the shape of modern cities. Yes, 31. Another one is poor town planning. True. So we have poor town planning. 31. Poor town planning. Poor town planning means unsustainable urban models. All right, unsustainable urban models remain. What is that? Yes, a key cause. So, major contributor. Here it's going to be key cause. If something is considered to be the main and or key, that is the major. Now, next one. In Renaissance time, local people fought. So although the Renaissance is renowned as an era of incredible progress in art and architecture, it is rarely noted that the 15th century also marked the birth of urbanism as a true academic discipline. The rigor and the method behind the conscious conception of a city had been largely missing in Western thought until the moment when prominent Renaissance men pushed forward large-scale urban projects in Italy. So, such as the reconfiguration of the town of Pienza and the expansion of the city Ferrera. Yes, another one is we have another answer. No, not given. We don't know if actually local people fought against the changes. Did they actually fight for it? Did they actually fight for the changes or not? We do not know. So that's why it's going to be the answer is going to be not given. So let me just not highlight, but leave it like this. So then. These works surely inspired Leonardo da Vinci's decision to rethink the design of medieval cities with their winding and overcrowded streets and with houses piled against one another. It is not easy to identify a coordinated vision of Leonardo's ideal city because of his disordered way of working with notes. There we go. We found the last question, answer to our very last question. So question number 33. The answer is going to be false. Here it says neat, organize, and record. Neat, organize, and record. So 31 I just did, 31, 32 no given. I'm just going to say 33. 33. What was that? Neat, organized, record. Here is going to be contradict, and the answer is going to be because disordered way of working. All right. Moreover, so a collection of Leonardo da Vinci's paperwork reveals his design of a new city beside the Ticino River. This was to provide better something for trade and less polluted environment. So, but from the largest collection of Leonardo's paper ever assembled, a series of innovative thoughts can be reconstructed regarding the foundation of a new city along the Ticino River, which runs from Switzerland into Italy and is 248 kilometers long. He designed a city for the easy transport for goods and clean urban spaces. So easy transport, better transport, transport, easy 34. So 34. Easy is good. 34. Better first. Better and what is that? Trade and less polluted environment. Trade and less polluted environment. The paraphrase for that is let me just highlight it over here like this. That's going to be question 34. Is it 34? Let me just see. Is it 34? Yes, it's 34. Question 34. There we go. Easy transport of goods. So better is easy. Trade means goods. Clean urban spaces, and then clean urban spaces. There you go. 35. We'll see now. Also, then that means although Leonardo da Vinci's city shared many of the ideals of his time, some of his innovations were considered unconventional in their design. They included features that can be seen in some tower blocks today, such as something on the exterior of a building. So he recommended high, strong walls with towers and battlements of all necessary and pleasant beauty. His plans for modern and rational city were consistent with Renaissance ideal, but in keeping with his personality, Leonardo included several innovations in his urban design. So Leonardo wanted the city to be built in several levels, linked with the vertical outdoor staircases. Okay, do we have staircases? Such as staircases on the staircases. So that means that can be seen in tower blocks, such as staircases on the exterior of a building. Exterior of a building means outdoor. Exterior. What is that? How do you spell that? Okay. Exterior. Okay. Exterior here is known as outdoor. There we go. So exterior, excuse me. Ignore. Yes. 36. So we have over here, where is that? There we go. Exterior. Now we're gonna give this question 35. Question 35. And here's going to be question 36. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't only an architect. So you can see this passage, summer completion, has 3 paragraphs. That means each of these paragraphs means that you're going to find answers in different paragraphs. That means if we found answers to question 34 and 35 over here, that means that we will find answers to question 36 and 37 somewhere around here, and that's how it follows for 39 to 40. All right. So Leonardo da Vinci wasn't only an architect. His expertise in something was evident in his plans for artificial canals within his ideal city. While in the upper layers of this city, people could walk undisturbed between elegant palaces and streets. The lower layer was a place for services, trade, transport, and industry. But the true originality of Leonardo da Vinci was its fusion of architecture and engineering. Leonardo designed extensive hydraulic plants. So the answer is going to be engineering. Engineering. The reason for that is engineering means plans for artificial canals within with the city. You can see this. The reason for why engineering and not architecture, because the reason for that, let me just first of all highlight it over here and go ahead and give this question 36. Give this to question 36. The reason for that is architecture does not design extensive hydraulic plans, but instead engineer. What it does is a fusion of architecture and engineering. He was not only an architect, because okay, you also at the same time there are two things you have to understand. Wasn't only an architect, which is already mentioned over here, yes, which means the word architecture is already removed, but also that means the answer is going to be engineering here. However, on the other hand, logically speaking, architectures, they do not design extensive hydraulic plants. Anything related to engineering stuff, they do not build it. So logically speaking, engineering people do instead of architects. I mean, he also believed that the height of houses should relate to the width of streets in case earthquakes occurred. The design of many cities in Italy today follows this exactly something. Leonardo also bought that the width of the streets out to match the average height of the adjacent houses. A rule still followed in many contemporary cities. So Liga follows this rule. Okay, so the design of many cities follows this. 37, 36. Did I write 36? 36. 36 was evident. Evident, vision. Was this say evident? Here was vision. Evident, I would say it was a vision. 37, I guess, in terms of 37, I guess this was follows this. Follows this means in here it is known as, okay, take that nicely and slowly. Give this question 37. Contemporary cities and modern cities, I guess. Cities in Italy today. Let's say now instead cities in Italy today. Cities in Italy today. That means many contemporary cities across Italy. All right. 38 now. While some cities from something times have aspects that can also be found in Leonardo's design, his ideas weren't put into practice until long after his death. Something is one example of a city that was redesigned in the 19th century. Although some of these features exist in Roman cities where Leonardo's drawings there had never been a multi-level, compact modern city which was thoroughly technically conceived. Indeed, it wasn't until the 19th century that some of his ideas were applied. For example, the subdivision of the city by function, with services and infrastructures located in the lower levels and wide and well ventilated boulevards and walkways above for residents, is an idea that can be found at gorgeous Eugene Huysman in renovation for Paris. There we go. It was like basically a Paris. Well, some cities from Paris. Yep. Or not. No, it's not a Paris, is it? Cities from Romans have aspects that can also be found on Leonardo's design. No, it's a Roman cities. Excuse me. How is that Paris? It's not Paris. But here, it is Paris in 39. Some cities have aspects that can also be found in Leonardo's design. Existed in, found in, 38, found in, so existed in 39. 39 we have here as is one example of a city. One example of a city that was designed, had envisaged. So is an idea that can be found at the gorgeous use of renovation of Paris under Emperor Napoleon, between something like that. Is an idea, I guess. Is one example of a city. One example of a city is here says is an idea that can be found. Last but not least, question number 40. His ideas are also relevant in today's world, where building something no longer seems to be the best approach. Today, Leonardo's ideas are not simply valid. They actually suggest a way forward for urban planning. However, many scholars think that the compact city, built upwards instead of outwards, integrated with nature. So, building what? Outwards no longer seems to be the best approach. Means outwards. Let me just first of all try to give these a number. Normally, yes. So, question 30. Question 30 what? 39. Question 39. We have for Paris. Question 38 and 9. Question 38 and 39. And he's on over here, Roman cities. Question 37. Oops. Is it? 30. No, this is 38. And this one's got to be. Here's going to be 39. I'm sorry. But here is going to be the answer for question 40. Question 40. There we go. Build upwards instead of outwards. So now they want to build upwards instead of that was built before outwards. So yeah, there you go. We finished passage number 3. Yes. Actually, it was again. I'm recording this passage again. So yes, everything was evident for us. Make sure if you want to, if you just literally want to learn how to deal with reading passages easily like this, instead of no longer the best approach. If you want to learn reading just like this way, make sure you construct these this kind of a table. It helps you to learn the vocabulary and it helps you to see the difference. Just literally, reading is all about paraphrases. All right, so that's it. Yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below and also share it with your friends and family. For those who are seeking for a free educational walkthrough, once I finish all the walkthroughs from Cambridge until Cambridge 20, I will start doing writing from all the way let's say Cambridge 7 until 20. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.